What if the person who took Madeleine McCann was living just 1 mile from her family's holiday apartment? What if police had his name and never questioned him? And what if, after 13 years, prosecutors finally have the evidence to prove he did it, but they can't charge him yet because they're missing one crucial detail? This is the story of Christian Brückner, the man Germany believes got away with murder. If you're ready for the truth, keep watching. The night of May 3rd, 2007, began like any other evening in the quiet Portuguese resort town of Praia da Luz. The McCann family, British doctors enjoying a holiday in the Algarve, had settled into their routine. At approximately 8:30 p.m., Kate and Jerry McCann left their 3 sleeping children in their ground floor apartment at the Ocean Club Resort. The door was unlocked. They walked just 50 yards to a tapas bar where they joined friends for dinner. The arrangement was simple. Every 15 minutes, one of the adults would return to check on the children. It was a system they had used all week without incident. The resort was considered safe. Families had vacationed there for generations. Nothing suggested that this night would be any different. But at 10 p.m., when Kate McCann made her scheduled check, she discovered something that would change their lives forever. Madeleine's bed was empty. The 3-year-old girl with big brown eyes had vanished. Her younger twin siblings remained sound asleep in their cots. There was no sign of forced entry, no indication of a struggle, no clue left behind. In that moment, a family's worst nightmare became a reality. The immediate aftermath of Madeleine's disappearance was marked by confusion and missed opportunities. Jane Tanner, one of the friends dining with the McCanns, recalled seeing a man carrying a small child earlier that evening. She described him walking across the top of the road near the Ocean Club. She could see the child's bare feet and the bottom of her pajamas. This sighting seemed significant, but Portuguese police appeared to take a relaxed approach to the investigation. There was a prevailing attitude that Madeleine had simply wandered off and would soon be found. Officers did not seal off the crime scene properly. They did not immediately conduct thorough searches. They did not begin questioning witnesses until the following day. By then, precious hours had been lost. The world's media descended upon the small resort town. Madeleine's face appeared on television screens and newspaper front pages across the globe. The public was captivated by the story of the missing little girl. But as the days passed without any sign of her, the investigation struggled to gain momentum. The Portuguese authorities, known for their secrecy, shared very little information with anyone, including the McCanns themselves. As the search continued, the public's sympathy for the McCanns began to shift. Questions arose about their decision to leave 3 young children alone in an unlocked apartment. People wondered how any parent could do such a thing. The tabloid press fueled this narrative. Headlines questioned the McCanns' judgment. Some even suggested they had something to hide. Meanwhile, Portuguese investigators faced immense pressure to solve the case. They needed a suspect. Robert Murat, a British expat living in Praia da Luz, became their first target. Murat had offered his services as a translator to the authorities and media. His local knowledge and Portuguese language skills made him a helpful figure, but police quickly named him a suspect. Witnesses claimed they saw him near the Ocean Club behaving suspiciously. Murat's mother insisted her son was at home and could not have been there. The case against him was weak and eventually collapsed, but the damage had been done. The investigation had wasted valuable time and resources pursuing the wrong person. And still, Madeleine was nowhere to be found. The trail was growing cold. 3 months after Madeleine disappeared, Portuguese investigators turned their attention to the McCanns themselves. Specially trained sniffer dogs were brought in from the United Kingdom to search the family's vacation apartment and their rental car. The dogs detected traces of blood in both locations. Police believed they had found the evidence they needed. The McCanns were declared suspects in their own daughter's disappearance. Kate McCann was pressured to sign a confession. She was told to admit that Madeleine had died accidentally and that the disappearance had been staged. She refused. The forensic evidence, when subjected to proper laboratory testing, proved inconclusive. The blood found in the apartment did not belong to Madeleine. The DNA found in the rental car could not be definitively matched to her. The car itself had not even been rented by the McCanns until weeks after their daughter had gone missing. The case against them was built on flimsy foundations. Despite this, the couple endured nearly a year under suspicion. They were eventually cleared in July 2008, but the accusation had already taken a devastating toll on their reputation and their family. With the McCanns cleared and no other suspects in sight, the investigation stalled. The case went cold. Years passed without any meaningful progress. Sighting reports continued to pour in from around the world. Madeleine was reportedly seen in Australia, Spain, Africa, and numerous other locations. Each sighting was investigated thoroughly, and each turned out to be false. The trail seemed to have vanished completely. In 2010, Jim Gamble, the head of the UK's Child Exploitation and Online Protection Centre, was asked to review the case. What he found was deeply troubling. The Portuguese police had made several critical errors. They had failed to properly analyze cell phone data from the area. They had not thoroughly investigated everyone who was staying near the Ocean Club that night. Important witness statements were not properly followed up. Gamble submitted his recommendations to the British government, but nothing happened for nearly a year. Then Jerry McCann wrote an open letter to the Prime Minister. The response was immediate. Operation Grange was launched. Scotland Yard took over the investigation. It would become one of the largest and most expensive investigations in British history. Operation Grange brought fresh energy and fresh perspective to the case. Investigators returned to the beginning. They analyzed every piece of evidence again. They re-interviewed witnesses. They created new age progression images of what Madeleine might look like. They reviewed thousands of potential sightings. One early breakthrough came when the identity of the man seen by Jane Tanner was finally determined. He was simply a British holidaymaker carrying his own child. The EFIT sketch had been misleading, but other theories remained on the table. Could Madeleine have wandered off on her own? Could she have been taken by someone she knew? Could it have been a burglary gone wrong? Operation Grange explored every possibility. They believed that the person who took Madeleine had been in the area that night. They knew that cell phone data from that time could hold the answer. But the Portuguese police had not investigated this properly back in 2007. Valuable information had been lost. Despite the efforts of Scotland Yard, Madeleine remained missing. The case remained unsolved. The years continued to pass, and the world began to lose hope. In 2017, a tip came to German police that would change everything. Someone contacted authorities and provided the name Christian Brückner. According to reports, Brückner had made a drunken confession to a friend. He claimed he knew what had happened to Madeleine McCann. German police began investigating. What they discovered was deeply disturbing. Brückner was a convicted sex offender with a lengthy criminal record. He had been living in the Algarve region of Portugal at the time of Madeleine's disappearance. His house was approximately 1 mile from the Ocean Club resort. He had been known to break into hotels and holiday apartments. He had been arrested in Portugal for theft just 1 year before Madeleine vanished. The pieces were beginning to fit together. But this was not the first time Brückner's name had surfaced. In 2013, German police had received a tip linking him to the case. They had investigated at the time, but found nothing conclusive. Now, with new information and new evidence, they took another look. This time, they believed they had found their man. German prosecutors built a compelling case against Christian Brückner. They discovered that his cell phone had received a call approximately 1 hour before Madeleine disappeared. The phone signal was tracked to the Ocean Club resort. This placed Brückner at the scene of the crime at the crucial time. German law does not allow prosecutors to reveal all their evidence. But Hans Christian Wolters, the lead prosecutor, made a stunning public statement. He declared that Brückner was responsible for Madeleine's murder. He said the evidence was strong enough to be certain, yet he admitted there was no body and no forensic evidence. Critics questioned how he could be so confident without these elements. Wolters remained firm. He said German law only allows charges to be filed when prosecutors are certain of conviction. He was not yet at that stage. He needed more evidence. Specifically, he needed to identify the person who had called Brückner that night. That person could confirm that Brückner was in possession of his phone at the time. That person could place him at the crime scene. The search for this mystery caller continues to this day. Beyond the phone data, investigators uncovered more disturbing details about Brückner's past. In 2013, he had posted in a pedophile chat room on Skype. He openly discussed his fantasies of torturing and raping young children. In 2018, a witness came forward with a videotape from 2005. The tape showed Brückner brutally raping a 72-year-old American woman in her home in Portugal. He was convicted for this crime in 2019. His DNA was matched to the scene. The assault had taken place near the Ocean Club resort. It occurred just 2 years before Madeleine disappeared. German police also searched an abandoned factory owned by Brückner. They discovered USB drives containing child abuse images and videos. Some of these videos appeared to have been produced by Brückner himself. The drives were buried in a plastic bag under his dead dog. Investigators also found young girls' swimsuits in his camper van. The owners of these swimsuits have never been identified. Each discovery added another layer of suspicion. Brückner fit the profile of someone capable of abducting and killing a child. The evidence against him was mounting. Today, Christian Brückner sits in a German prison, serving a 7-year sentence for the rape of the elderly American woman. He has remained silent about Madeleine McCann. His lawyer maintains that he is innocent. The McCann family has not publicly commented on Brückner. They have posted a message on their website stating that they will never give up hope of finding Madeleine alive. They also said that they need to know what happened in order to find peace. The German prosecutor continues to investigate. He believes Brückner is the key to solving the case, but without a body or forensic evidence, bringing charges remains difficult. The mystery caller who phoned Brückner that night remains unidentified. That person could be the missing piece of the puzzle. The search continues. The world watches and waits. After 13 years, there is finally a credible suspect. But the question remains, will there ever be justice for Madeleine McCann? The answer depends on the evidence. And for now, the full story remains locked away in the shadows.